Hey, it's Owen from Audio here, and this week we're looking at the Pocket Piano by Critter and Guitari out of Brooklyn, New York. The piece has turned 11 this year, approximately, so we're going to go back and take a look at it, see how it holds up today and how it sounds. At the time of release, about 2010, the synth world had started looking back to its roots for inspiration. The 60s and 70s had been a DIY heady time for synthesizer development, and by the 90s workstations had taken over and things were starting to sound a bit overproduced and bloated, at least to my ears. And that's when the DIY movement came back about 2010. We had companies like Critter and Guitari, Teenage Engineering, and Dreadbox making new DIY simple synthesizers that harked back to the roots of the instrument. Now it looks like the Pocket Pianos aren't in production anymore. Originally in 2010 or 11, they were about $200 Australian if you didn't get the one with MIDI, which is what we got here. I was looking up today and found some for 800 bucks on eBay, which is probably a bit much to pay for them. You could probably get them for about half that if you want to find one. Now the Pocket Piano is a very versatile synthesizer with a range of tones, pure oscillations through to FM synthesis and arpeggiators. It's a polyphonic synth, so it's got 4 voices available depending on the synth setting you have chosen. And it's portable with a built-in speaker and an optional 9-volt battery if you want to take it on the road or on the bus or something. Now the Pocket Piano is quite popular amongst performers. It's found its way into records from the likes of Jack White, MGMT, Bon Iver, AC Newman, and it's even on a Taylor Swift album from last year. They're able to pull a lot of sounds from old school to modern. You can find stuff like Devo, Kraftwerk / Africa Bambaataa, MGMT, all the way up to modern indie rock sounds if that is your bag. Originally the Pocket Piano came with 6 modes. This one has 7, which I think was an upgrade soon after release. I'll go through them when we're looking at the synthesizer in a minute. There's also an auxiliary button along with some of the variable parameters which you can use to choose between waveforms: triangle, square, sine, and sawtooth. And sometimes it is also an octave switch. Well, let's take a quick look over the unit and see what its features are. Alrighty, we've got 16 chromatic keys in real maple wood. Everyone knows synths with wood on them sound better. We've got a bank of knobs. Knob 1 is control of depth, rate, detuning, or harmonicity. Knob 2 controls rate, envelope, decay, index, or glide. Knob 3 is your tuning, and knob 4 is the volume. Right next to that, we've got an on switch, a 9-volt DC power input, a mono line out, and also a built-in speaker. We've got our auxiliary button here, which either changes waveform or shifts the octave depending on mode. And then we've got our mode button, which is a choice of 7 modes indicated by different colored LEDs. We've got red, which is vibrato synth, yellow, which is harmonic sweeper, green, which is a 2-octave arpeggiator, light blue, which is an octave cascade, dark blue, a mono FM synth, purple, an FM arpeggiator, and finally white, which is a mono glider. And we'll flip this over to look at the rear and battery compartment now, and more wood. All right, that's all the buttons. I'm gonna put this thing into action. I'm gonna play it over the top of a Casio drum beat and we're gonna see how it sounds. And there we have it, a tour through the Critter and Guitari Pocket Piano. It's a small box, but it's very versatile with a lot of sound options. One of the best things about this box is the speed with which you can pull up sounds. When inspiration strikes, you can get to work without getting stuck in a synth hole trying to figure out sounds, which can take you days or weeks if you're a synth person. The simplicity of this unit in my mind is one of its major draw cards. The ability to get to work is fantastic. And on top of that, the sounds that it produces are easily usable on your own record. So is the unit worth grabbing? I reckon it is. It's a great sounding small box. There's others like it, but I feel like this is the top of the game when it comes to pulling a simple, good sound quickly if you're looking for something that sounds fairly old school. If you've watched a few of these videos, you'll notice I prefer the tactile experience of using analog equipment over the soft synths. I feel like I can pull sounds quicker and easier than if I have to fire up a computer and it works more creatively for me. So you'll understand why this unit appeals to me. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week for more stuff.